and welcome to TSMS Lite. I am your friendly neighborhood Shezi. Now, listen, for the better part of a month, I have been down with this horrible viral infection, and I know a lot of you have been down with this particularly virulent strain. A lot of us have had to take antibiotics. Our guts have gone for a toss, which is why I thought that we should have a conversation with a gastroenterologist. And on that note, presenting to you Dr. Krishnatej Chikyala of Poulomi Hospitals. Katie, I'm going to call you Katie, of course.
Perfect.
I have been not very well for the longest time, and for the first time, I have done drugs. I've done antibiotics. I don't feel like I've been very kind to my gut as a consequence.
Right.
Do you have any words of wisdom for somebody like me who is, first of all, like worried about antibiotics, and now that the antibiotics have happened, tell me what happens to the gut once this happens?
So antibiotics, as you say, essentially they wipe out the so-called bacteria. Now we try to give it in a sense to eliminate any negative bacteria or bad bacteria which is causing you harm. But these kind of biotics usually go full whammy. They don't do selective damage. So what they do is, depending on how long you're taking or how big of a dose you're taking, it has every chance of wiping out your entire gut flora. There is some good news, there's also not negative there. Your gut has this amazing ability to replenish itself.
Okay.
The flora and the fauna of the gut, as we so call it, will come back eventually. All we need to do is to give it time and eat some food which nourishes it or fortifies the gut.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell me what that nourishing food is, Katie.
Well, like from an Indian scenario, our traditional food do wonders. Fermented food, because they naturally have fermented stuff there, which will help amplify your gut bacteria, the good ones. And then there's lentils, there's millets, and there's vegetables, obviously lots of veggies. I would always say go seasonal. Whichever fruit or vegetables is the pick of the season. Stick with that. Make some nice rasam, char as we call it. With
Yum.
With some food and with some rice and some ghee, and then your gut will thank you for it.
And I will thank you if you're making sense for me. There comes a time when everything suddenly becomes this whole, it's the word du jour. Everybody and their uncle is talking about gut health on the internet, okay? There's probiotics, there's supplementation, there's this, that, yada, Pinkett Smith.
Right.
Is there one particular myth that you see on the internet saying, ye karne se aapka gut bahut healthy rahega, and you're just like, nahi rahega, stop it.
Oh, where do I begin? Well, the latest fad that has riled me up to no bounds is so-called detoxifying your gut or resetting your gut.
Oh, yeah.
Or come and just get a new gut, cleanse your gut. I mean, your gut naturally has a very intellectually advanced, very advanced detoxifying system. Your liver, your kidneys, your intestines basically do that.
Right.
They cleanse your body, they cleanse your gut, they even cleanse your blood. They're like natural purifying organs which we have. I don't believe that some, labeled off-the-rack powder which they, market as a detoxifying agent will do the same thing. And to an extent, or these high expensive probiotics, so they call it. All you need is consistency, good sleep, hydration, some less of processed foods or preserved foods, something which comes out of a packet, ready-made, and hydration, sleep, and some good consistency habits, as in routine habits. I maintain a routine as to your timings and all, and your gut will thank you.
How dare you not offer me sophisticated medication and basic common sense, easily accessible solutions?
Right. Well, that's how the gut goes.
Right? It's ridiculously, it's called the second brain for a reason.
Yes, it is called the second brain, and it also has a very deep connection with your other brain, something called as a brain-gut axis. In simple terms, basically, take care of your brain, your gut takes care of the rest. So stress, now I get it. Stress is a very, very complicated, widespread, often, thrown about word these days. But what we specifically mean is stress, which is causing you to, fall back on your habits, on your daily habits, as in good sleep, good quality sleep, eating on time, and, making sure you don't overeat or late night snacking. All these add up to stress, gut stress. So, good sleep, good hydration, regular meals, you're good to go, really.
Fantastic, yeah. Okay. We spoke about the Indian diet and how that can itself, help you with supplementation. Yeah. My question to you is there one thing about the Indian lifestyle that you feel is not helping our gut at all?
Right. No, I don't want to, trod on people's toes when you call the Indian lifestyle, because that's as varied as any lifestyle right now. But if you go by the urban lifestyle, the problem I see there is late night snacking, irregular meals, heavy meals, and then a lot of processed food vis-a-vis outside, be it packaged food at home. So I would say go easy on that. Have timely meals, have a very light meal in the evening, and stop eating at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Your gut will thank you. Fiber is your friend. Everybody says protein. Yes, I agree, but you're forgetting fiber. Fiber does magic to your gut. It's nothing short of magic. And a lot of our traditional dishes inherently have them. Now, I don't want to step into fusion foods and all, but traditional, just stick to what your grandmother would make and you'll do no harm.
You mentioned a little while ago that sleep is going to go a long way in sorting you out.
Yes.
Give me an idiot-friendly version about why that's going to happen.
Right. So, you probably know that when you're sleeping, your brain neurons rewire themselves. They do a kind of a maintenance run in your brain, and they sort everything out. Well, that extends into the gut as well.
Okay.
Because of the deep brain gut connections, when you rest, when you give good quality rest to your brain, by extension your gut gets a well-deserved rest, as in which your gut is one of the most metabolically active organ. It replenishes its lining depending on which part of the gut you're talking, once every 3 days, as early as 3 days. So you essentially get a new lining. It's like a new skin to the gut every 3 days. So the more you take rest, the more properly, or the more the more quickly they get upon that job. And there's another big advantage of sleeping. When you sleep, you don't snack unless you're somnambulating or you're sleepwalking. But the longer you sleep, the longer the gut gets a kind of a pause between your meals, thereby making sure that everything is working in a tip-top fashion.
I'm so grateful that you shared this. And I struggle with sleep. I know you suck at sleep too. I doom scroll. I know you doom scroll. I hope this explanation, because it's really convinced me and I'm a believer now, and I hope this is at least something for you to think about and say, maybe I should just nap Netflix for 6 hours and actually just get some shut-eye. Thank you very much for that explanation. My heart will break on this one, but I want to know anyways. Black coffee and gut. Explain your thoughts, words, feelings.
Coffee, friend to your gut. Yeah, in moderation. Again, disclaimers, conditions. I'm not too keen on the black versus white coffee, because that goes into the area of
racism.
Sugars. No.
Sorry, I'm messing with you.
Let's say fine. Let's say just pure coffee and coffee with milk. So what I like to say is it's mostly to do with the ability to digest milk. As long as you can digest milk, shouldn't be a problem. But then we go into this arena where we're talking about calories versus sweeteners. I don't want to get into that because that's a huge topic. But coffee, in its inherent nature, it's a friend to your gut. It has good antioxidants. It actually supports your gut motility. The only thing is, take it in moderation, and I would advise not to take on an empty stomach, because usually on an empty stomach, your acid levels tend to double itself with the addition of coffee. I would, however, suggest to have it after a particularly large meal, like the Nawabs or the Nizams, having a good cup of Irani chai after a biryani. You can't get more right than that.
Oh, yeah? Okay. So, basically if you're having that one beautiful, gorgeous, decadent, delicious cup of coffee. I like coffee. Can you tell? Then you should have it after breakfast.
Yeah, have it after a good meal. Be breakfast, lunch, that's fine. And try to wind it off by 4 o'clock, because its stimulating properties might disturb your circadian rhythm, basically your biological clock. So you might not be able to sleep, and some people might get jitters and anxiety and all that. So I would stick to morning to, let's say, between 8 and 2 should be fine. But have a good meal. Yeah.
I'm the jitterbug. Yeah. So I'm not allowed coffee after 3 o'clock in my house. Nobody gives me coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
No wonder.
I'm also high on my own supply. You know me, Kit.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I'm just so then people are like, no, she doesn't need any more coffee. But that's great. So 8 to 2, that's actually a very sensible time slot to have your coffee. Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay. And this is a controversial one because I have such big feelings about this one. But your thoughts on intermittent fasting, specifically with the gut?
Again, intermittent fasting, yes, when done right, will help you. Again, it's not a magic pill. What it essentially does is gives your gut a longer break between meals. That's helping with your metabolism, especially for someone with bloating and fatigue and all that, with after meal fatigue or bloating or indigestion. Intermittent fasting will help, but again, you should do it under the advisement of a doctor, and it doesn't help everyone. You have to be very selective about who, when, how you're going ahead with it.
I hate it. Okay, fair enough. But thanks for that, Thanks for a very unbiased, I hate it, very unbiased view. It sucks. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Pleasure.
There was a time when everybody was all about, aapne wo wala mera Gucci ka bag ya Hermes ka bag. Now everybody and their uncle is all like, hey, what supplements are you on? And all that. What are your thoughts on all this supplement taking?
Well, again, that's a very big market right now. It's a very big area. That's a very big area to discuss. Nice. But I would like to, I can flat out say that probiotics don't do anything. Just a fad. There's a proper fad there. Probiotics were essentially developed to help with, as in your case, when you said your gut is giving you all kinds of quinsy feelings after a dose of antibiotics. There, probiotics might help. Again, there are very specific probiotics to use in specific scenarios. It's not a one pill cures all gut, everyone's gut. So it's a fad. If you're taking it just so-called detoxifying or improving your gut doesn't need all of that. If your gut needs babying, well, we wouldn't be in the state as we are. Gut is a very resilient, very intelligent, very sensitive organ, and it can usually fend for itself. Probiotics are used in a very specific area with medical supervision and should not be taken off the counter. I loathe the day they've made it over the counter because it doesn't do, pardon my French, shit. But
you're a gut doctor, you can say shit.
I think I can say shit, yeah. I think it comes into my vocab. That's fine. But on the contrary, if your gut is weak, or if you're a sensitive person, or if you have some underlying issues, it can actually exacerbate your problems. So word of caution, don't take probiotics lightly if at all, and please always do it only on the advisement of a medical professional.
So we've had a whole series of very intellectually stimulating conversations to Dr. Katie. Right. I want to talk to Katie, the non-doctor, Katie the man. Okay, yes. You've literally opened up so many people and looked inside their bodies. Over the years, have you looked at certain things and said, this is not something I should do? Is there one cool thing that you have learned after looking into so many bodies?
Well, I don't know at this point if I can separate the doctor from the man, but I'll try. What medicine has taught me is that body always keeps score. So what I've seen over the years of my practice is that it's not an overnight thing. It is not an overnight, one bad meal or one bad habit or, which you've picked up overnight and then your gut's all over the, place. But it is these little things which we are consistently doing it wrong or we are inconsistently good at it, which ruins your gut. So what I have learned is, yes, the importance of having a routine. You need to have your meals on time. That is probably the single biggest advice I can give anyone. What you eat pales in comparison of when you're eating it. How much you're eating it. Yes, what you eat rarely matters as long as it's healthy. No, I don't mean junk and all, but that's a completely different thing. Provided the food has been cooked well and has good nutritious thing, you can eat anything. I mean, I don't know, I think I'll be getting hate in the comment section, but you can even have a biryani every day if you want, but
which was made properly
at home with proper ingredients, no preservatives, no coloring agents, no added, all the shebang. You can
red biryani.
Yes. And and no assorted colas and all that, just biryani, it's fine. So what I'm trying to say is, when you eat and how much you eat is more important than what you eat.
That's fantastic advice, Dr. Krishna Tej. You have been a veritable fount of information. If we want to stalk you or if we want to ask you more questions, ask you more questions, where can we find you?
Well, I'm currently practicing in Gemcare Poulomi Hospitals, Rao Nagar. Currently exclusively here, but you can reach me out on Insta. I think you can share the handle.
You will see one patta over here, but don't be creepy and stalk him for random reasons. Oh, cool doctor in black scrubs. Don't do like that. If you have genuine questions, I'm sure he's very helpful. He's also a very kind person. I know personally because he's also a friend. Yeah. You can ask.
Right.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you for this opportunity, and looking forward to being back on the show soon.
Yes, I think we'll bring him back because gut मौसम बदलते हैं, gut वाला scenario भी बदलते रहता है. We will see you in the next one.
Bye.